you had one putt, one opportunity to get everything you have. Fine, never mind all the time I took to write it. Just forget it.
Get ready!
I finally got a Nintendo Switch, which means I can put it in the title and thumbnail for every single video from now on and get at least 10 times the views as normal. So, yay for me. But I'm not gonna do that because I got other stuff to play. Now, given a year to grow its library, what was the first game I decided to play? Mario? Zelda? No. An indie RPG about golf. Because indie games are great, and I bought 4 games for the same price as one new one. But those for another time. For now, we're going to talk about Golf Story. It was developed by Sidebar Games and released in late September of last year. At first, it was going to be on the Wii U, but I mean, we all know how that went. I don't really have much to compare it to, since the only similar games I've played are a bit of Hot Shots Golf, and that's about it. But whatever, let's get started. Sadly, I can't look at the cover since it's a download-only game. Kinda sad about that. The game begins with the main character, who I'll name Johnny Twiddlesticks, because, I mean, they never give him a name, playing golf with his father as a child. It also serves as a tutorial, but I'll get to the gameplay later. 20 years later, Johnny is on his own, and he calls up his wife to tell her that he left her to play golf. It's fine though, she's a big meanie, so who cares? Thus, Johnny begins his new quest to become the greatest golfer the world has ever seen. Naturally, the first thing we need to do is find a coach. It turns out there is a new one for the course. We just need to pay him $14.45, which we don't have. You know, Johnny, if you're going to leave your wife to achieve your lifelong dream of becoming the greatest golfer in the world, you could have at least saved up a bit of money. I earn the money, but he refuses to train me. Then insults me by saying my swing is bad. Oh! Oh! You think you can talk to me like that, huh? Well, your face is stupid. Got him. I should probably mention that pretty much everyone you talk to in this game either hates you, doesn't believe in you, talks down to you, or is just generally a jerk. I guess that's what happens when your name is Johnny Twiddlesticks. But isn't that how the greatest underdog stories always go? A complete unknown starts from next to nothing with just hard work and passion, only to prove everyone who doubted him wrong by blowing up zombies, popping beach balls, and talking to ghosts. Oh, and I guess golfing too. I'm pretty sure that's what happened in the greatest game ever played. The goal is to go from golf course to golf course and accomplish missions given by the residents. These range from basic golfing challenges to collecting a certain number of items. Every course except the first one is blocked off until you're instructed to go there, and you're given a goal to complete before you can even play on the course. So the main bulk of the gameplay involves walking around each course to find all the side quests, to unlock items, and progress the story. Some of them are required, but most are just totally optional. Or you can just go around throwing balls at people. You can do that too. Even though they all revolve around golfing, what they have you do with that gameplay is what makes this game so much fun. The first course alone has Johnny hit tracking golf balls to moles, which ends with the groundskeeper having his own private mole army that he will use to take over the world. Or just help him mow the grass. You know, keep your goals manageable, I guess. There's a snow course where you use a flaming golf ball to melt people frozen in giant chunks of ice. One of my personal favorites is this guy in the second course who tells you to smack a ball in his face as hard as you can.
Shoot me in the face! In the face! I noticed you haven't shot me in the face!
I haven't talked about the golfing yet, have I? My bad, this game is just so quirky with the side quests and the writing and whatever else I talked about. The gameplay itself is, I mean, it's just really simple. If you've ever played something like Mario Golf, Mario Golf, Mario Golf, Mario Golf, and of course, Mario Golf, you'll have no problem getting into this game. It's a standard 3-point swing system. Choose from a range of clubs, line up your shot while taking wind and obstacles into account, adjust for backspin, topspin, and where you hit the ball, and press the button 3 times to start, to set power, and set accuracy respectively. That's it. Time it just right and you unleash your rainbow power! Now, I don't play very many golf games, but I think it's safe to say that the controls, physics, and obstacles are all easy to understand and get used to. Except putting, which is kind of lame. Use these controls to play through 6 themed courses, and you've beaten the game. The only times you really need to play through a course is when you first unlock it, or when you face story opponents. Several people will want to challenge Johnny on his quest to being the very best like no one ever was, ranging from an angry young girl who essentially becomes your rival, to the closest person this game has to a main villain, total douche balloon pro golfer, Max Yards. Yes, that is his name. When I say he's the closest thing to any kind of main antagonist, I mean he's this cocky sellout who hates us for no reason. While the actual golf games are fun, most of the gameplay revolves around the side quests. I actually thought of a good comparison while writing the script. This feels like an old adventure game, you know, like Grim Fandango or Monkey Island. It feels like each of the courses, save the last one, has one major goal to accomplish and you reach it by doing all the smaller missions. And each of the main missions for each golf course ties into the main goal of becoming a pro golfer. Except instead of obscure inventory puzzles, you golf. It's best to do as many as possible since you gain experience and money when completing them. This is where the RPG elements come in, since leveling up gives you a number of points to spend on the 5 stats of power, purity, strike, ability, and spin. What's interesting is how you can't just put all your points into one stat because it will lower the others. This means it's important to balance out all of them. As for the money, you need them to purchase better and often mandatory equipment. This is what I meant when I said it felt adventure game-ish. Some of the stuff you have to do to progress in the story is just as ridiculous as the name Guybrush Threepwood. Although I kinda like it because it reminds me of Frederick Threepwood. No one is going to get that. The best way I can illustrate this is with one long string of quests beginning on the course known as Tidy Part. Our main goal in this game is to become a pro golfer. So, we visit the course to play in a tournament, since there's a rule saying we'll get pro if we win. In order to even play on the course, you have to take etiquette lessons from a tutor he met on Cheeky Beak Peak, meet Max Yards for the 2nd time so one of Coach's students becomes your caddy, and go on several different locations to find a specific set of antique clubs. After that, you need to become friends with one of the old members since they only invite their friends to join the tournament. I wonder if the oldest member is open for a round. No one will get that reference either. Suddenly, everyone is trapped in the building when someone says they saw a werewolf. So it's up to Detective Johnny Twiddlesticks, and yes, I'm gonna keep saying that name as many times as I can, to go around the house and search every nook and cranny to find colored golf balls and use those to play mini golf in order to obtain certain items needed to distract the receptionist. After giving her the items, he finds a group ganging up on someone they believe to be the werewolf. He convinces them otherwise and is given another golf ball, which he uses to play mini golf, which opens a secret compartment leading to a secret room where he finds the missing person practicing with modern golf clubs. Since those are pretty contraband in this course, it's basically like I caught him in a room full of piles of Colombian nose candy. So, Johnny uses this information to blackmail him into playing a round of golf together, leading to being invited to the tournament. After winning, we're told we can't be made pro because the rulebook that says that rule has been stolen and it was the only copy they had. What? So, longer story a bit short, I play Pac-Man with thieves, light a golf ball on fire, beat the thieves in golf, find my coach's estranged son, finally get the rule back, and am made a pro. That's a lot of hoops to jump through, and last I checked, there was not that much jumping required in golf. Even through all of this, none of the tasks you have to do are challenging in any way, and they all at least have some chuckle-worthy dialogue, so it's not that bad. That's the thing about this game. It's really easy. All the gameplay revolves around golfing challenges or facing others in golf matches. Even Max Yards, for all his cocky walkie-talkie malarkey, doesn't put up much of a challenge in any match against him. That might be the point though. If you're looking for the true Dark Souls of 2D top-down golf RPGs to test your true hardcore MLG gamer skills, this isn't it. It's the kind of game you play on a lazy afternoon because you want to relax and have fun. Like, you know, actually going out to play golf. But it's really hot where you live, so you don't want to go outside where there's a bunch of bugs, so you just play this. Problem solved, which is good as long as you enjoy golf games. You can play golf on 8 different courses, dig up treasure, play disc golf, or take on short golfing challenges. All of it while being surrounded with great presentation. I'm just gonna say it. I always been a fan of pixel art, especially in games like Stardew Valley, and this game feels like chibi Stardew Valley and Mario Golf went splat on a G-rated Quentin Tarantino script. What I'm ultimately trying to say here is that it's really charming. Charming visuals, charming main cast, charming music, just charming everything really. One of the best examples for me is how each course has a theme. The first one is your basic golf course, nothing too outstanding, but then you find a dinosaur course inhabited by Neanderthals, a beach course, one on top of mountains, a spoopy graveyard, a snowy mountain, and even an old school course filled with old players who think bogey is an acceptable score and have a rap battle with some uppity rapscallions. Maybe my joke at the beginning wasn't so out there after all. The final one you reach is this blue pro course. It's just an upgraded normal golf course, I guess. There's nothing really special about it, aside from combining little bits and pieces from the others for one final game. If all those aren't enough to satisfy your love of video game golf, you can actually find an old golf video game inside this golf video game, so you can play video game golf in a video game about golf. Golfception! I can sum up this review by saying this. If you have a Switch, which apparently everyone does by this point, you should at least think about getting Golf Story. It's a fun little game with lots of quirky charm that you'll enjoy if you like the base gameplay. The only major problem I have is that there's just not enough of it. Each course has only 9 holes, and while they're all great, I wish there was an option to play 18. Still, for just 15 bucks, it's a great deal. And if you don't want to walk to a course to just play around, you can just go to Quick Play, where you can alter all kinds of conditions and even play multiplayer. So, those were my thoughts on the first game I got for my Nintendo Switch. It's not the biggest or the most complex, but it is a lot of fun, and I see myself going back to play more when I want something simple. Well, that's all I have to say this time. Thanks so much for watching. Whoever you are, I hope you have a nice day, and I'll see you next time. Also, please don't take down my video, Nintendo. Okay, thanks.